And now we're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, and Rumble. And, of course, we're live on TikTok as well. So we're live on all of our formats. And here we go, folks. Here we go. So let me just get into this, the meat and potatoes, before we get into the presentation. Look, I know most of you probably have heard by now that Iran has launched missiles and drones to Israel. Okay, folks, listen to me very carefully. One thing that you might know, you may not know about me is this: I love history, and I love world events. I'm a huge history nerd and world events nerd. I follow it very carefully. I'm not an expert, and I'm not saying that I am, but I am saying that I know what's going on in the world. And I understand some of you are concerned about Iran. I said that's why I went on TikTok. I made a quick video when Iran just first launched their missiles, and I said, guys, there will be one wave and they'll stop. That's what they're going to do. They're going to stop, and they did. That's exactly what they did. So Iran just went to the United Nations and said, we are finished. We are done. We're not launching anymore. There was one wave, and that's what they do. Folks, look, here's the deal. I know that a lot of you guys are overwhelmed and stressed, and you watch the news and social media, and people scare you. Look, always remember, when you're dealing with world events, follow the money. Follow the money. And what do I mean by that? Well, United States, it's no secret that the United States and Israel are very close allies. We're very close allies. And Iran does not want to go to war with the United States. They just don't. There's no competition. No matter what anyone tells you, there's no competition. There's none. And Iran knows this. They're not stupid. They know there's no competition against the United States military. There just isn't. So let's just get to that point first, okay? And quite honestly, Russia and China does not want Iran to go to war with Israel, because that would bring the United States into the war. And China's economy is not doing well. Contrary to what many people may think, their economy, actually, the market over there for the real estate market is very close to collapsing. So China's economy is not doing that great. And Russia is going to North Korea to buy military equipment. That's how bad it is in Russia right now. So look, Iran is not going to have the backing of China or Russia to go to war with Israel. They're just not. Israel is doing this. Iran is doing this because they have to. Because Israel attacked a high-ranking military officer in Iran and in Damascus. And so Iran has to respond, because if they don't, then in the Middle East, they look weak. So they have to respond. It's proportionate. They have to. There's no other way. There's no other way around that. So, and I'm not saying whether it's good or bad. I'm just telling you, these are the facts. Leave out the emotions. Just leave out the emotions. Really, honestly, this was all for faith. This was all to save face. This was all for Iran to say, look how tough we are. We're not going to be bullied. In the end, their missiles and their drones were completely and totally junk. But they had to do something. That's what they had to do. And so no one is going to go to war with. They're not going to. Israel is not going to war with Iran, because the United States won't support it. And Israel has to have the support of the United States. Whether they like it or not, they have to have it. So they're not going to. So everybody just needs to relax. That's just the way it works. This is checkmate. This is chess. This is what this is. And I'm just telling you, Iran's not going to make any stupid moves, because they're not going to be supported by China. They're not going to be supported by Russia. Now they'll be supported by North Korea, but quite honestly, North Korea's economy isn't, I mean, with all due respect, North Korea. But look, everybody just got to relax. This is Iran. This is the Middle East skirmish. They do this, folks. They do this. They've done it throughout history. We've seen skirmish like this occur. I promise you, what's going to happen is this wave of attack is over. Iran beats their chest and says, look how wonderful and strong we are that we stood up against Israel. And then there's a rally in Iran supporting Iran. And then Iran's going to complain to the United Nations. Now, I promise you, folks, I promise you, it's going to be okay. I'm telling you it is. So just relax. And we'll no. Don't come in here and say somebody said the Pope is Satan. Don't take that bull crap away. We're not. I'm not into. Look, go peddle your conspiracy theory to somebody else. See, we don't do conspiracy theories here. We don't wear tinfoil hats. What we do is we look at it from a logical perspective, and we're not going to allow ass clowns to come in here and to spread their conspiracy theories and all this other crap. Here's what you need to do. Go serve Satan, because only Satan loves to spread confusion. Satan loves to spread divisiveness. Satan loves to spread anxiety. That's all it is. That is all it is, folks. So these people who are spreading all these conspiracy theories, you know what? Seriously, they really need to go back under the ground where the cockroaches live, because there's nothing that productive that they do. The only thing they do is cause anxiety and stress. That's all they do. So if there was a legitimate threat, I would tell you. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to pretend. If I was like, okay, I really don't like this, I'm concerned, I'll tell you. But I'm telling you now, this will all settle down. Okay? Okay, I promise you, it'll sell you. Okay, for those of you who are on TikTok, the trolls are coming in, so we're going to take care of this problem. Bye-bye, trolls. See you. So only subscribers can chat for the first half an hour. That's the way it's going to be. If you don't like it, call your therapist, because I'm not in session. So, because I'm not going to put up with trolls. I'm not. We're adults here. We are adults. We're not kids. This is not grade school. This is not grade school. So we're not going to play with people who are narcissistic and sadistic and who like to come in and act like a damn fool. Go play in the playground with somebody else, because we're adults. See, that's how we work. We are. Speaking of an adult, folks, guess what? You know it. You know it, everybody. They won't, Amanda. They won't. I promise you, because they won't. They won't. There's no way. All right. She was raised in a barn. Hello, Miss Wilma.
Howdy, Bishop Long, and howdy, everybody.
Yeah, very good.
Everybody's having a great night.
Doing good. Let me just say something. Amanda, very quickly. Amanda says, I just hope they don't attack the Holy Lands. Amanda, they won't. And I'll tell you why. Because in Israel, it's very, very, very tight. It's very compact. And you have the Jewish, the Muslims, you have the Christians. They're all in a very tight group there, in a tight geographical area. There's no way Iran would be stupid enough to launch a missile to hit a holy site there, because it would be affecting the Jews, it would be affecting the Muslims, it would be affecting the Christians. And then Iran would definitely get their butt beat. So you don't have to worry about that at all. I promise you, Iran is not that stupid, although their technology is, probably fourth grade technology. But nonetheless, I'm just telling you guys, you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry. Okay, hello, and so Miss Will, what do you think about this cray stuff?
It is. It's so crazy. It's out of hand.
I think
always wars and just somebody wanting to start something.
Maybe we need a Miss Wilma. Miss Wilma, we need you to go to the Middle East and take care of this.
Well, they don't want me over there. They keep me in 1 second.
You need to go over there and say, Miss Wilma for president for the Middle East. And boy, let me tell you something. She would shape these people. She'd put them in check like that. I mean, she might not.
Put them in jail and don't let them out to play basketball. Put them in there. What they did, them fit the crime. Man, so what are you going to feed them? So they're in prison. All the bad guys are in prison there. What are you going to feed them, Miss Wilma? No.
What are you going to feed them?
No. Peanut butter.
You're going to feed them peanut butter?
Peanut butter. Yeah, peanut butter sandwiches and water.
So you're going to give them water. Well, that's nice. At least you're going to give them water.
Yeah, I don't want them to choke.
Well, there you go, folks.
No, that's not, no.
So, folks, there it is. Miss Wilma for president, Middle East.
The jails are so full that they get safe. They go to finish school. I mean, it's not right.
Oh, she's on a roll, folks. When she gets on a roll, you just have to.
It's just not right.
Man, yeah, I think we should do it. I think we should send. We should all do a fund. Well, thank you. I think we should all do a fundraiser and give Miss Wilma a first class ticket to the Middle East so she can go over there and shape everybody up.
And guess what, Bishop Long?
Yeah.
You would be my vice president. So what I mess up, you would have to get it under control.
Yeah. Yeah. So if that's the case, I might as well go ahead and make sure my life insurance policy is definitely paid up in full.
We'll even put Sean in there. He'll help us.
Oh, Reverend Sean's going to help. Father Sean's going to help, huh? So he'll.
Yeah, John.
All right. Well,
he's going to help us too.
Sean, if you're out there,
and Judy, we'll put her in there too.
Well, if you're listening, there, Sean, Miss Wilma has apparently recruited you to be on her cabinet. So apparently you're
and Judy.
And Judy Ann, Judy Ann could be the defense secretary. Judy Ann, the defense secretary is pretty important. Judy Ann, that's a big position. All right, so
and I do want to say this, Cash, if you're listening, darling, thank you for the pictures that you drew and colored for me.
Yeah, Desiree.
That touched my heart. Thank you so very much. I love you, honey.
All right. Well,
always do that.
Yeah. So there was Desiree. Her son sent some pictures to Miss Wilma, and he listens to Bible study, and so he drew some pictures for Miss Wilma, and I think he drew a picture of Miss Wilma, and I think, man, that is the greatest picture. It had red hair everywhere and snakes coming out of the head, and the eyes were all solid red too. It's like, that is the best picture of Miss Wilma I've ever seen in my life.
He did a great job of coloring. Bless his heart.
Yeah.
That's a keep safer.
It was pretty cool.
I always did that. On my kids, I would write their name on top. And actually, I still have a lot of those papers.
Well, that's nice.
Actually, I do, because, you go back, look at all that. It's kids I used to babysit for,
For those of you on TikTok, that's Miss Wilma.
They're all grown up now, so but they'll still always be my babies.
Because a lot of people didn't get to see you because we did the eclipse. So for those of you who are wanting to know, because people keep asking over and over and over because they couldn't see the picture of Miss Wilma, there is Miss Wilma right there. That's right before she went to the moonshine bar, and
No.
that's where she went to.
No, there's no moonshine bar. No.
Okay, so what do you got for us there, Miss Wilma?
I guess you heard.
Oh boy.
I tell you what, well, I lost my pet mouse and my Elvis doll.
That's terrible. Pet mouse.
Yeah, it is. He was caught in a trap.
No. You know what?
Get it? My pet mouse and my Elvis doll was caught in a trap.
I don't.
You mean that this is a boo for that? I did good.
I don't get it, Miss Wilma. I don't get the joke. I'm so glad you tried to explain it to me, but I just don't get it.
You're mighty welcome. That's the funny part about it.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what?
What?
I was driving, and when I saw a sign that said slow, so I let the turtle go on ahead of me because he was walking too fast for me.
No. But the true story is when Miss Wilma drives.
I thought you would like that one.
Yeah, but when Miss Wilma drives, she doesn't drive. I'm telling you, she does not drive. what she does, if there's a small, and I mean a small hill, she won't even put her foot on the gas. It'll just, we're going, little buddy. So she's got, little buddy, we're going. Like, Wilma, you got to put your foot on the gas. Oh, we're going, and just bear that. I'm not kidding you. I
always got where I'm going, get going.
Yeah, it takes 5 hours, but we were on a hill. And it's a very small hill. I mean, it was real. And she didn't even put on the gas, and we were just slowly. Are you getting car sick? You got to move for me to get car sick, Wilma. You got to move a little faster.
Hey, I did the best that I could. I got you there, didn't I?
Well, yeah, and I aged very, very quickly. Those 5 hours that we went for a mile down the road.
Did you hear about the alien?
What, Miss Wilma?
Yes.
Yeah. The aliens. There you go, Miss Wilma.
No.
Yeah, that's okay. Tell us about.
The alien couldn't get the baby to go to sleep. He rocked it. Did it? He rocked.
No. But you didn't rock it. You bombed it. That's what you just did. You bombed it. Man.
You know why pirates are called pirates?
Why are pirates called pirates? I don't know.
They just are.
All of a sudden, the numbers are just dropping. Well, we did see people watching. Oh no! Please tell us more. Please don't laugh, guys.
Okay.
Please don't laugh.
Did you hear about the poor ghost?
Tell us about the ghost.
He didn't get to go on his date. He had nobody to go with him.
She may not drink. I'm drinking. Cheers.
He didn't have nobody.
I get the joke. You don't have to explain that. I promise you. I get it. I get the pun.
I just love explaining.
I'm sure you do. Where do you come up with these jokes? In your brilliant mind?
Yeah, sometimes I bring practice.
Yeah, that's probably right. Yeah. Okay.
Well, that way.
So that probably explains that. Yeah.
Did you hear about the grape?
The what?
The grape.
What about the grape?
He got stepped on. He let out a little wine. He's not feeling very good.
The jokes are dying as quickly as the show.
I would let a little wine out too, somebody stepped on me.
What are you drinking over there? My goodness.
That would hurt. I'd be more than one. I'd be going, ow, 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 ow. Can't you watch where you're walking? Right. Don't step all over it.
Little baby, you like that? Great. They'll be laughing for 5 minutes together. Okay. Just get it out of your system. Let's get it out of your system. Just let it go.
Well, it's true.
No, I priest or celibate.
You're going to be tried.
What?
As somebody steps on you, you're going to be tried.
Well, normally, grapes don't really talk, but okay, I appreciate you being concerned about stepping on a. Okay.
I wouldn't mind smooshing some grapes, make grape jelly out of it.
Yeah, smooshing some grapes. I don't think you're getting grape jelly. I think you're getting grape wine. That's what I think. Grape wine. That's exactly what I think Miss Wilma's getting. So what have you been doing besides harassing me?
I don't harass you.
You harass me.
I've been having a so-so week,
Yeah.
Some days good, some days bad. It just, comes and goes.
Yeah.
Got to hang in there with it, those flows.
You got to push through it, don't you?
Yeah, we have to. We just have to. That's why I say laughter is the best medicine, because It really is.
Okay, so there's someone in the chat room. Her name is Frances Marie Brown, and she says, "For Miss Wilma, what do you call a honeymoon salad?"
I don't know, sweetheart.
Let us alone. That's pretty. That's pretty. Do you get it? Do you get it, Miss Wilma? Do you get it, Miss Wilma? See, it's a honeymoon salad. It's a honeymoon. It's a honeymoon. So the let us alone. It's a honeymoon, Miss Wilma. Do you understand?
You're doing me now.
So just want to make sure you're good. Just want to make sure you're good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you for that. That was cute. I said that was okay. I got to get with some news here.
Uh-oh.
Yes. Medical professionals are warning about the potential side effects of certain hair treatments.
Uh-oh.
After a young 26-year-old woman who never had any health issues started having kidney injuries. After a session at a hair salon, she left with kidney damage where they used tropical, like some kind of acid.
Oh my gosh.
And, in her hair. And the doctors blamed it for the injuries. She started suffering with nausea, fever, diarrhea, with backache and burning.
Wow.
Because she went to go to a hair salon, and this medicine cream they put on her had some kind of acid in it. And bless her heart, she's really having trouble now with her kidneys. She's got 3 different kidney injuries now.
That is terrible. Now, Miss Wilma, by the way, folks, Miss Wilma went out and got her hair. She got her hair did. She got her hair cut. And Miss Wilma, she's a little flirt. She's a little flirt.
I am not.
She's a little flirt. She was batting her eyes.
No.
She was batting her eyes and just a little flirty turk going on there. And what happened there that one time, Miss Wilma? Why don't you tell us what happened when you got your hair did last time?
Okay. I just went in there and I was sitting down, talking.
Sure.
And anyway, there's a man come in and he's pushing his dad in a wheelchair.
Okay.
Well, he was sitting there across from me and he was just talking and stuff. And I had my cell phone out.
Yeah.
And, I was waiting for him to get my hair cut. Well, he walks over. He said, I never did really know how to use those cell phones. And I said, yeah, they are kind of complicated sometimes. And he said, well, can you show me, some names and stuff, how to, little things, how to get on, like games and stuff like that. Yeah. Well, I was pulling up my phone and showing, how to do this. You can message and text people. And all of a sudden, he kind of reached down, was looking at my cell phone and gave me a peck. It was just a peck on the cheek. And I thought, okay. So I didn't really know what to do because I'm like, okay. So I put my cell phone up like, okay, you can go back and sit down now. So I put my cell phone back in my purse. And I said, sometimes I have a little trouble with it, and I didn't say anything. So
he gave you a little peck on the cheek. Is that what you're saying?
That's all he said. It was just a little peck. And I thought, oh boy.
Oh, I see. So
I'm like, no. I didn't know what to do because I'm like, oh my gosh. So I put my cell phone up like, okay, you can go back to them now.
Man, Wilma, you are a player, Miss Wilma. You are a player. I mean, and then she has
sitting there talking. I'm a star.
And then she goes to Walmart and all the men, hey, how you doing? You need some help or what can how you doing? And she's just having a conversation with them like she knows him, like she's known him for 50 years.
There was a man.
It's always something. See what I mean, folks? I'm telling you this. So tell us this story.
In a wheelchair, and he pulls up beside me.
I'm sure.
Hot rod. I was asking my friend to help me with some gravy. I said, my brother-in-law says the Pioneer gravy's pretty good.
Yeah.
So she's like, oh, here you go. And she said, well, I like mine with pepper in it. And I said, oh, how can you tell which one's got the pepper? Well, as plain as day in the front, great big letters, peppered. And
Wow.
I'm like, oh, well, duh, it could have bit me. Well, he started laughing.
Started biting you.
And I looked over at him. I said, now, sir, you did not hear me say that. He said, yeah, I did. He couldn't stop laughing.
Let's see.
Well, when we checked out, he comes up. I went to check out. He comes to the other. And here he comes beside me, and he's still laughing. And I said, are you still laughing at me? He's like, no. And he shook his head, yeah. Well, the next week, it's so crazy. The next week, that it was a strange man. I got, most of y'all know that I had a very terrible accident at Walmart. Somebody came and hit me. He was walking, coming up behind me really, really fast. And they hit me right in the ear because they couldn't see me because they had this big box, whatever it was. Well, anyway, it knocked my head over. And I screamed. It hit that bad. Well, I was getting sick in the stomach, and I thought, my friend kept saying, I don't know what to do. There he comes up, and he was so sweet. He's like, I don't know what to do for her. And he said, do you want me to call 911? And my friend's like, yeah, she needs to go to hospital. She got hit hard. And I'm like, no, that's okay. Well, anyway, after it's all over, pharmacy came over, gave me an ice pack. The manager came. And, but anyway,
it's a long story.
All over.
It's a long story.
He followed me.
He followed you.
He followed me. Yeah, he said, I want to ride with you just in case you need something.
Yeah, he's going to ride with you just in case. He's going to ride. Okay.
He drove behind me, and I thought, that's sweet.
I'm sure you do. Man. As you were spraying your perfume right in front of him, then he's just following me. Isn't that just so? That's exactly what she was doing. And you know that's true. Hey, Miss Wilma, Monstar Entertainment's asking, hey, Miss Wilma, what kind of party does do hairdressers like to throw?
I don't know what.
Barbecue. 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 Get it? See, barbecue. Barbecue. Get it?
That is so cute.
See, Miss Wilma, it's barber. See what I mean? Barbecue. See, barber. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
See, that's how it is. See, the barber.
You're paying me back, aren't you?
I'm paying you back.
You're really paying me back.
I'm paying you. Okay, so what other story you got for us?
Okay. There was a little boy. He's around 5. That went to the doctor. And the doctor, she put 2 hearing aids in his little ears.
Oh, yeah.
The mom asked him, said, can you hear me? He said, yes. Then he heard his dad. For the very first time in his life, he heard. This is a beautiful and a wonderful blessing that he can hear. This really touched my heart so much. It really... I was so upset for a while because it just touched me. Even his little sister started crying. And I was like, oh, my stars, this very first time. He looked like he's around 5. But that's his first time that he could hear.
That's a beautiful story.
Oh, my stars. I want to get with my show because it's going on 9/29.
Okay.
It's on an Andy Griffith show. Now, this one got to me. It's the one where Opie gave 3 cents to a charity. Andy got mad at him because he only gave 3 cents. And he looked at him being, because he's like, here I am the sheriff and you're only giving me. He asked Opie, he said, give him more. And Opie said he couldn't. So Andy sent him to his room. Now, after telling him, you're not even getting no supper. So, thanks to Aunt Dee, she talked to Andy. Well, when Andy told Opie, come on down, he get some supper, he's going to forgive him. He said, do you like me again? I thought, oh, my stars. Andy told him, said, yes. He said, I love you. I will never stop loving you. But when Opie told Andy that he was saving his money to buy his little girlfriend a coat because it was torn, and Opie wanted to buy her a coat. I saw that, and that just touched me so much. It was beautiful. And but you know, Andy said, "Well, why didn't you tell me?" He said, "You didn't ask."
Mm.
But that's the first time I ever cried on an Andy Griffith show. But that story just touched me.
Wow.
But it's just so beautiful. Well, I'm going to jump off here because I know you want to get the paranormal stuff. But I hope everyone has a great night. And I love all of you, and God bless.
Thanks.
And thank you all for the jokes.
Thanks, Miss Wilma, for being on. We appreciate you stopping by and saying howdy.
I'm glad I got to see you on to everyone. Night, everyone.
All right, bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye, Miss Wilma.
Bye-bye.
All right, everybody. That is Miss Wilma. So we appreciate she was with all the animals, and she was raising the barn, everybody, raising the barn. So that's Miss Wilma. She's a cool cat. I think we'll keep her. How's that? So yeah, she likes to come on. And for those of you who don't know Miss Wilma, I've known her for about 25 years, and I consider her family. And she's 69 years old. She's in heart failure. She has a pacemaker. She has multiple sclerosis. She has cellulitis. She suffers from vertigo, and so there's a plus of other things. And but she comes on and she wants to make you laugh. She wants to make you smile, and that's a special thing. I think that's very special, especially in a world right now that we're living in, where so many people just want to scare the heck out of everybody. And Miss Wilma likes to come on and put a smile on your face. Just make it kind of forget a few things. But she is a hot mama. Let me tell you something. She's at Walmart. She's like, get out of my way. I'm going down. She's flicking her hair. I'm going down the aisle, and she's zooming her in her cart, and she's looking around. She is looking around. Let me tell you, she's looking around. She's checking the place out, and then all of a sudden, these men just come flocking to her. I'm telling you, it happens all the time. Happens all the time. And Miss Wilma says, it's tough to be Miss Wilma. She's gonna beat me up when she hears me say that, but God love her. All right. But yeah, she does it. She does. She's a very cool person. She did not, Lita. Donny Osmond is coming to Louisville this I don't know when he's coming, but he is coming to Louisville, and she did not get tickets because I think they were just simply too expensive. I got to several years ago. I don't know how many years, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I'm not really for sure. It was longer than that. I got to have her meet Donny Osmond and get to a concert. She would love to go back again, but it's just too expensive. It's just God love him. I mean, it's nice, but boy, I tell you what, I'll give him credit. I do. I'll give him credit because he puts on a tremendous show. He and his sister, they really do. They Yep. June 23rd. That's it. Yeah, June 23rd is the problem is Miss Wilma. She struggles with walking. And so that's the issue is, trying to find seats that can accommodate her situation. And that's the big problem right there. So, that's the issue there, folks. So, but anyway, she got to meet him. She got to meet him one time. She got to, he gave her a private audience, and that was so nice of him. Truly it was. It was so nice of him. So, it was in Nashville, and I went online and I was asking people if they knew had connections to Donny Osmond. And, so we got some tickets, which was hard to get because, especially in that area, Nashville was sold out. And, so I think we got like 4 or 6 rows back. Wilma thought it was 6, but I thought it was 4, but either 4 or 6. And then after the show was over, we went in the back, and it was so funny because she was sitting in the back there, and there was a chair, and his dressing room, and he had his name on the door, and it said Donny Osmond. And Wilma was so excited because she thought that was it. She thought, oh, I got to see Donny Osmond's dressing room. I'm just, that's what she thought that she was going to get. And they put us in a room with a bunch of people. And I had talked to Donny Osmond's manager prior to us coming. So she knew that we were going to be there. And so Donnie said, no, I want to meet her face to face. I want to meet her privately. And so the manager then called us in, Bishop Long, Miss Wilma. So we came out of this big room with a bunch of people, and we saw Marie. Marie was small. She's a small little thing. We saw Marie. Marie was wonderful. And so we went into his dressing room. He was there. His manager was there, and it was just him. And he wanted to give Wilma a private audience, and he did. And so that, I tell you what, honestly, she is. When he did that, I thought, you know what, this guy's a good guy. Regardless if you like Donny Osmonds or the Osmonds or not, I'll tell you what, he was just class act. Now, he's not better than Elvis, okay, or St. John Denver, but he's a close. He's close. He's a close fourth, maybe fifth, but nothing like St. Elvis Presley or St. Sarah Brightman or St. Luciano Pavarotti or St. John Denver or St. Elvis. I have. Well, there's a couple of John Denver movies, but I've seen those. They're pretty good. Okay, so they are great people. So welcome everybody. Come on in, and we're just going to chill here for a little bit. Get your mind off all of that craziness that is online. I promise you, folks, this is I know there's a lot of anxiety in this world. I get it. I'm there with you. I understand. I understand. But we're gonna get through this. We're gonna get through this, and I promise you, this is one of the reasons why this is the third year in a row that I've been teaching now Revelation, because so many people are going on and scaring people about it, and but I wish they wouldn't do it. So, it says President Biden, Israel, Prime Minister Netanyahu to speak tonight. So there we go. So it looks like the waves of attacks have they're still kind of slowly, it's slowing down. It's slowing down. All right. Yeah, it will pass, folks. It will pass. There's a lot of really cool, there's the Joker 2. Have you heard this? I saw the trailer for it. Joaquin Phoenix is going to be reprising his role as the Joker, and Lady Gaga is going to be in it as well. I think that's his significant other in the movie. But I did see the trailer, and it was pretty interesting. But listen to this. There's a lot of people who may not know this, but in the movie, the Joker, the character has this uncontrollable pathological laughter that he can't control it. Well, did you know that this is a legitimate issue that people suffer from? This is from T.K. Randall. Do you still not speak to a RC from the UK? I have no idea what you're talking about, but I have lots of friends that are Roman Catholics from all over the world. As a matter of fact, I have friends that are Roman Catholic priests and monsignors. So I don't quite understand what you mean. I have friends from all denominations, So I have lots of very good friends that are Roman Catholic priests. But listen to this, by T.K. Randall. The titular character of the popular movie and its upcoming sequel suffers from an affliction that is actually based on a real life condition. Imagine finding yourself experiencing uncontrollable bouts of laughter, sometimes lasting 10 minutes at a time, while at a restaurant or a doctor's surgery, or even while attending a funeral. Well, this real life issue is known as pseudo-bulbar effect. It is the same condition suffered by the character Arthur Fleck, as played by Joaquin Phoenix in Joker and its upcoming sequel. So such uncontrollable bouts of laughter remain a daily reality for Scott Lowton. He's from Virginia Beach in the U.S., whose condition can make even basic everyday tasks quite challenging. There's a video, so you can actually I am, but I'm actually talking about the condition. The condition actually is legitimate. It is a real issue. There's a video of him. You can Google his name. Let me give you his name. You can Google it. It's Scott Lotan, Lotan. Okay, that's his real name. And you can just type in Scott Lotan, uncontrollable laughter, and you can actually watch a video of him struggling with this. Scott Lotan, Lotan. And there's a video of him trying to control his symptoms while periodically laughing hysterically at nothing whatsoever. You can't, there's nothing you can do with it. He says, I've had issues with not being served at restaurants and been asked to leave because wait staff were uncomfortable. He said many times if I am out for a drink with my friends, there's someone with low self-esteem that believes I'm laughing at them. And they try to start a fight. There's so many people. There's just everything. They think they're so narcissistic. This is a medical condition. He said his condition was brought into sharp focus back in 2003 when he attended the scene of a fatal car accident that had resulted in the passings of both his mom and his fiance. He says, I remember being at the scene, laughing, and being questioned by the police, he said. At the wakes for both my mom, he says, and my fiance, I would have to separate myself from everyone as I would burst into laughter at times. You know what? Yeah, thank you, Judy. I cannot imagine that. That would be horrible. Can you? That's poor guy. But apparently this is a legitimate issue. Scott Lotan, Lotan. And there are videos of him, and he talks about it. And boy, that would just, yeah, I agree. That would be something that, man, that'd be right. I mean, a lot of people think, well, it's not so bad. You're just laughing. Yeah, but I mean, you couldn't go to church. You couldn't go to a funeral. You couldn't go to a wedding. You couldn't, I mean, boy. For those of you, I did, like I said the other day, I did play the lottery. I will be the first to admit, I put down $2 big, and I didn't win. Imagine that. Well, there is this is by Ben Hooper. There's a North Carolina man stops for a hot dog. And guess what, folks? Well, a North Carolina man stopped into a convenience store to buy a hot dog and walked out with a scratch-off lottery ticket worth $1 million. Maybe that's what I got to do. Maybe I got to play a scratch-off thing. But he says, Franklin Bracey of Lincolntown told North Carolina education lottery officials he went to Jerry's One Stop in Iron Station to buy a hot dog. And while in the store, he decided to buy a $10 50 times the scratch-off ticket. That's what it's called. It's called 50 times the cash scratch-off ticket. Okay. He said, I scratched it in my car. Bracey said, my first thought was just, no way. So Bracey's ticket revealed a $1 million prize. I would have a heart attack. That'd be it. Boom. That'd be all. He said, it blew my mind. And Bracey said he rushed home to tell his girlfriend, and I bet she said, let's get married, about his good luck. And first thing I said was, baby, sit down. He laughed. And the winner said he plans to invest his prize money. He says, I've never won anything over $100 before, he said. Well, good for him. That is wonderful. Congratulations to the big winner, $1 million. Man, can you imagine? But that would be pretty impressive. I tell you that. No question about that. I think I'll just cancel these. These are not so let me just throw those away. Oh yeah, I talked about that church thing. That was crazy. So you won $1,000? Wow. I have never have I ever won not even $2. But some people can. So some people can play and then win one thing after another, and after another. But that's good for them. Good on them. For those of you who like paranormal shows, oh wow, you won $3,000. That's a chicken feed. Judy Ann says, I won $3,000. Chicken feed, I guess. Yeah, I guess. Wow. Well, for those of you who like paranormal shows and scary shows, I talked about this the other day. I have been watching the show called From. Now, I will tell you, this is, before anybody goes out and watch it, this is TVMA. So kids should not be watching this show at all. But it's really, really a very cool show because I love shows. I don't know why, but I've always loved shows where the town is perfectly fine during the day, but then at night, the scary monsters come out from the woods. I don't know why. I've always loved those type of movies, even though there's not very many movies out there like that. So this is by Sean Lilos. If you're interested, there's 25 shows about the demonic and supernatural available on Netflix. Honestly, I don't watch a whole lot of possession movies at all because most of the time I get very frustrated because they're stupid. And I watch it and I thought, oh, come on, for heaven's sake. So I eventually just get frustrated and walk away. It's the same thing with the Pope's Exorcist. The Pope's Exorcist movie was so bad. The ending was so stupid. They ruined it. They ruined the Pope's Exorcist movie at the end. Like I said, I walked out of the cinema. It was that bad. So for those of you who like shows about the demonic and supernatural on Netflix, this is by Sean Lilos, and let me tell you what they are. He said number 25 is Ju-on, Juon, Juon, Ju-on Origins, 2020. It is a prequel to the Ju-on franchise. I've never seen the first one or second one or third one or whatever. So you might want to check that if you if you like scary movies. I have not seen this, so I can't tell you if it's any good. But it's called Ju-on, Juon Origins 2020. In 2003, Takashi Shimizu created the horror movie novel series Ju-on, which ended up made as a Japanese horror franchise and was then remade in America under the name The Grudge. Okay, there we go. So I know that one. So apparently it's a prequel. And number 24, according to the author, is Resident Evil 2022. It is a new tale in the Resident Evil franchise. Well, I might have to look at that. Resident Evil enjoyed a resurgence at the start of the 2020s. A new live-action movie reboot hit. And if you saw this, tell me if you think if it's any good, because I didn't see. The Village was not bad. It was not a terrible movie. The Others is great. The Others is one of my favorite movies. So Resident Evil, the Netflix series was loosely based on the video game series, set in a different universe, but keeping the spirit of the video games as an inspiration. The show takes place in 2022 and focuses on the 14-year-old twins of a man who worked for Umbrella Corporation. It also takes place in 2036, where human refugees live in a walled-in cities trying to survive the man-eating creatures that roam the earth. So if you've seen this, do you love Resident Evil 2022? Let us know. Thumbs up, thumbs down. 23 is October Faction. I don't know. October Faction, if you guys have heard of this, it's 2020. It's a demon hunting family returns home to fight monsters. I haven't seen this, but let's tell me if you guys have seen this. I'd be curious to see if you've seen it. It's October Faction. So Netflix went all in on several comic book adaptations, including Lock and Key, The Umbrella Academy. And while both of those shows enjoyed multiple seasons, one other that arrived around the same time was canceled just after one season. You know what? This whole I've talked about the eclipse thing, and I got so sick and tired of people using the eclipse to scare people. And like I said, the eclipse, I made a video of it. Nothing was going to happen. The moon was going to move out of its way like it's done before. And everybody ran on to social media, scaring everybody. Oh, it's the end. It's the end. It's like, oh, for crying out loud. So no, it's the moon. Okay. Yeah, we've talked about this a lot. I just, boy, I tell you. So anyway, this is called October Faction 2020. 22, Wyatt Earp. Oh, I'm sorry, Wyona Earp. Wyona Earp. 2016 to 2021. It's a Legend of Wyatt Earp meets Demons in Purgatory. Tell me if you've seen this, but no. Anyway, The Midnight Club, 2022. It's an anthology series based on Christopher Pike's novels. So Mike Flanagan has created several projects of Netflix, many of which ended up the best supernatural shows on Netflix. And one of these was a chilling horror series called The Midnight Club. Unlike his other shows, which veered toward more gothic adult horror, this centered around 8 terminally ill young adults who meet at midnight every night to share scary stories. However, they realized that there might be true evil out there and determined that the first to die would contact the others from beyond the grave. Well, that's pretty depressing. Okay, Dracula 2020. And if you've seen it, Wyona Earp was a bit campy but fun. Okay, thank you. All right, Dracula 2020. It's a new version of Dracula arrived in 2020 on Netflix and made some serious changes to the mythos of the vampire legend. In the series, Jonathan Harker survives an attack by Dracula and is placed in a convent. However, one of the nuns assigned to help him is none other than Agatha Van Helsing, or Agatha, giving the vampire hunter a gender change. What? Okay. However, one of the nuns assigned to help him is none other than Agatha Van Helsing, giving the vampire hunter a gender change. Charmed, 2018-2022. I know. Charmed, if you guys, I don't know. Charmed has got a reboot in 2019 with a new cast of actors playing the charmed ones. The young women discover that they have magical powers after their mother's tragic death. And like the original series, the supernatural show on Netflix has the sisters learn that they are witches who have to protect the world from demons and supernatural while also learning to deal with their own lives. So Charmed 2018-2022. Oh, you loved it. So Bill Sessions says he loves, okay. The Order. I've not seen any of these. The Order 2019-2020. It's a supernatural show about a secret magical society. Oh, you actually love practical magic? Okay. Well, The Order is a teen supernatural show on Netflix that has elements of the demonic. A new college student has a hidden agenda for attending Belgrave University and seeks revenge against the secret hermetic order, which he believes has caused his mother's death. And the Order dabbles in rituals and sacrifices in order to use magic. Oh, let's go ahead and do that. The show deals with complicated love stories, betrayal, revenge, and threat of the supernatural world. I'm not a big fan of that. Nope. Okay, 17, Lockwood and Company, 2023. Teens hunting ghosts in the future? What in the world? Some of these things are just dumb. 16, Marianne, 2019. All right, so it's Marianne is 2019. The French horror series Marianne made its way to the U.S. and ended up as one of the best supernatural shows on Netflix. Okay, the series has an interesting take on horror fiction. Some person plays a horror novelist named Emma, who learns that the characters from her book exist in the real world, including an evil witch named Marianne. All right, have you seen it? Let me know. Oh, great. Yeah. Number 15, The Warrior Nun. Are we that? Wow. Powerful nuns save the world from demons. Warrior Nun. Netflix released an original series in 2020 called Warrior Nun. The supernatural show on the Netflix has an interesting twist on the demonic, especially when it comes to secret orders and the inclusion of the Catholic Church. An orphan girl wakes up from the dead with supernatural powers, and she discovers that she was given a powerful weapon by a secret organization of the Catholic Church. The Order of the Cruciform Sword is an ancient society of the warrior nuns dedicated to eradicating demons from Earth. Oh, come on, Bill. Are you serious? Now, Bill Session is, and I wow. So, okay, Deb Vitt. So Deb says she loved The Warrior Nun. Okay, folks, there we go. See, this is great. Warrior Nun. You have to check it out. Okay, Bill says loves it, and Deb says loves it. Wow. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. I'll write that down. The Haunting of Bly Manor. This is the follow-up to The Haunting of Hill House. The Haunting of Bly Manor, 2020. So I don't know if you guys have seen this one. Here's one, Midnight Mass. I did see this one. Now there is a little bit of an issue with the Midnight Mass. We were treading on heresy with Midnight Mass. I did see that. Now 2021. There were some problems with it. So Mike Flanagan has become a go-to director for the best supernatural shows on Netflix. One of the top 2 seasons of his Haunting miniseries. He also took a break to make the series Midnight Mass. The supernatural demonic series feels a lot like Stephen King's story brought to the small screen. And while it wasn't based on a King story, it makes sense, as Flanagan has adapted several of King's stories, etc. Midnight Mass basically is a small island community. Experiences some terrifying supernatural events when a strange young priest arrives at the same time that a young man returns home after serving 4 years in prison. And with a dark, gothic horror atmosphere, it goes in a disturbing direction and proves Flanagan remains Netflix king of horror. So the problem is, for me, this is what I'm going to say. The Eucharist is very sacred. And I get really concerned when shows, kind of cross that line. And that was problematic for me. The next one is Hellbound. Hellbound 2021. Demons mark people for death in this religious horror thriller. Okay, Hellbound arrived in 2021 on Netflix. It ended up as one of the new additions to the best supernatural shows on Netflix. It won over critics and broke streaming records with a story, that took the idea of a demonic invasion and mixed it with religious undertones. The South Korean TV series has an otherworldly figure called an angel who delivers a prophecy that certain people will die and get sent to hell. And religious organizations support the angel and condemn the people who die. All right, okay. This next one is Lock and Key. 2020-2022. It's a supernatural story by Stephen King's son, Joe Hill. Let me fix this little puzzle here on TikTok because I've been on for an hour. There we go. You have to do that now on TikTok. If you've been on an hour, you have to do a little puzzle. So Lock and Key. I'm in Kentucky. Yep. The next one is Crazy Head. Crazy Head 2016. Crazy Head is one of the few Netflix shows to have a perfect 100%. Now that's pretty impressive. Crazy Head 2016. 2 young women who can see demons set out to save their town. So Crazy Head is one of the few Netflix shows that has a perfect 100% Rotten Tomatoes score, according to this. This also makes it one of the best supernatural shows on Netflix to get at least attention. And part of the problem is that it is a show from 2016 and only lasted for 1 season. That's a shame. So a lot of shows have come out since then. So if you guys have seen this, pretty interesting. We're almost finished here. Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. It's a scary reboot of Sabrina the Teenage Witch, which I never seen. So Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Castlevania. 2017-2021. It's an anime remake of the classic video game. Number 6 is Lucifer. Yeah, I've got a little problem with this one. Lucifer 2016-2021. The devil comes to Earth to help solve crimes. Yeah, that's just stupid. Okay. Yeah, that just... It's good, but it... I don't understand. Yeah, I don't like that. I see this, the idea that there's all these shows. No, I'm not going to watch it. Nope. So, but if you have not seen the movie, if you have not seen the show From, it is interesting. It is TVMA, and but I really, so the acting is, I think, very, very good. It's really odd. I got to tell you something. I have my own theories about what these creatures are, but boy, I tell you what. Yeah. Yeah, it's called From, From. Very interesting. You might want to, if you like that, take a look. Now, if you like paranormal shows and TV shows or paranormal investigation shows, according to this individual, this is by Amber Frost. Amber Frost, help. This is number 15. She says, "Help my house, or my house is haunted." Helps families investigate strange happenings in their homes. 14 is Ghost File delivers a mixture of humor and paranormal investigation. So Ghost Files. And there's number 13 is Unsolved Mysteries, mixes true crime with paranormal. Wow, that's pretty interesting. Ghost Nation. If you've seen this, let me know. Ghost Nation helped other investigators with their cases. And then there is the Dead Files, which that's a great show. I know the cast. They are really, really cool people. So the Dead Files, 28 days haunted. So, or 28 days. So haunted visits the most haunted locations in America. So, right. So it's 28 days haunted. That's the name. It's on Netflix. Eli Roth is really cool. He was a very quiet person, actually, very reserved. It is so interesting when you see the characters that he plays. They're so over the top, and then you meet this person who's soft-spoken, who's intelligent, he's articulate. It's interesting to see the dynamics there. But no, he's very nice, very nice person, very nice person. Ghost Adventures, obviously, number 9. We know Ghost Adventures and a haunting. I've been on a couple of haunting episodes. I can't remember the ones, but there were I think two of them I was on. Celebrity Ghost Stories. So there we go. Celebrity Ghost Stories. Expedition Bigfoot. Here's the deal. People ask me all the time, do I believe in Bigfoot? I do. I absolutely believe that there is something out there. The problem with investigating Bigfoot is you're out there in the woods, and it's the animal, it's the wildlife that you got to really be careful about, because there are mountain lions, there are bear, there's coyote. It's pretty dangerous. So the snakes. So your biggest issue is not, I don't think so much Bigfoot. It's the other creatures that wander around. There's a really cool Bigfoot movie. The ending was a little shaky, but called Exist. I don't know if you've seen that before, but it's not bad. It truly is not bad. There are some really intense moments in this movie. It didn't get a whole lot. It's a 2014. So it's a 2014 American found footage monster horror film. And it really is. It's not bad. It's called Exist. And 2014. Check it out. If you have not seen it, check. Of course, Harry and the Hendersons, the classic. Number 5, The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch. Okay. Number 4, Haunted Deals. So that's, Haunted. The Haunted deals with the paranormal, and Haunted Deals. And Paranormal Witness. Okay. Number 2 is The Haunting of Hill House. And then finally, of course, they say number 1 is Ghost Hunters. All right. So there, some of the movies, some of the shows, if you're really interested in trying to find them, there you go. And you might want to check that out. I'm trying to find, this was really weird. I don't really know how to, I wanted to share this with you. And, I like unique people, but this one is kind of, okay. This is from a website there. It doesn't give me the author's name, which is a shame, but a couple talk about their 3-way relationship with a ghost. So there's a show called This Morning. It hosts Allison Hammond and Dermot O'Leary introduce viewers to an unusual relationship on ITV today. The mid-morning duo spoke to Rebecca Carmichael and Catherine Elaine via a live video link from the United States. Oh, great. Anyway, the topic was their unique living situation involving a ghost named Rupert from Wales, of all course. Anyway, whom they consider a part of their relationship. So speaking from North Carolina, the quirky couple shared their experience and insights into their relationship with Rupert. Beside them, believe it or not, was a third, seemingly empty chair set aside for Rupert. During the interview, they had 3 chairs and one chair was empty. Who the girls tell us that he's here in spirit. Rebecca begins by explaining how her relationship with Rupert began back in 2020. Well, it started with me, she says, walking past a very haunted place and later in the evening time, and he was concerned that I was walking home alone. She told Allison and Dermot that their meeting was very much accidental and only possible due to her open-minded nature. Rebecca described Rupert as tall, with blind blue eyes, and showed the ITV host an AI-generated likeness of the spirit, which Allison and Dermot thought looked scarily similar to the show's resident vet, Dr. Scott Miller. Anyway, Dermot then asked about the nature of Rebecca's experience with Rupert, whether they are visual or sensory. She says, a combination of different senses. I saw him with my physical eyes, which is called clairvoyance, Rebecca explained. It's a combination of different senses. I saw him with my physical eyes, which is called clairvoyance. She said, I'm a clairsentient. So it's the ability to pick up on electromagnetic shifts or to actually feel like goosebumps, heat, or cold. Anyway, Rebecca clarified that it was like something inside of her saying the combination of her psychic senses, telling her something is there or someone is there. And Rebecca's ghostly relationship with Rupert was already established when she got together with Catherine, a paranormal investigator who used her collection of ghost hunting gadgets to help Rebecca detect Rupert's presence. Catherine told Allison and Dermot that she was comfortable with the situation. I was aware, and I was like, all right, I can handle this. Discussing the dynamics of the relationship, Rebecca mentioned how each of them, including Rupert, feels her life in many different ways. She said the 3 often hang out together, but that she also spends quality time with Rupert and Catherine on their own. She explained, when I'm going on a walk, that's a time that I can spend with Rupert, and then coming back home, we can watch TV together. Sometimes we all hang out at the same time. And Rebecca added, we do have similar interests. We really enjoy going to historic places. And both of you fill my life in very different ways. Okay. Am I the only person that believes people are losing their minds? I'm sorry. This is just the most bizarre, and this is a true story. This is a legit story. I'm kind of I try to keep an open mind, but my goodness, I mean, sometimes it's kind of like people are brainless. Yeah, I mean, really, seriously, it's you're having a relationship now with a ghost. That to me is just okay. But I because I can't understand it. See, I'm like I said, I have an open mind, but the fact that she legitimately thinks she's in a relationship with a ghost. And then there are people that take her seriously. Okay, this is by TK Randall. For those of you, again, did you ever hear about people in relationship with a bridge or weird object? I did. Yeah, I have. Or a car. There's a term called for that. I forgot what it's called. But yeah, I have heard this. But listen to this. T.K. Randall wrote this. There is a mystery Bigfoot. Actually, I want to talk about this for Judy Ann. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. There. Oh yeah, I think this is it. So Judy Ann, you'll be interested in knowing this one. BFRO. This is by T.K. Randall. BFRO. It's an organization that goes and search for Bigfoot. They're investigating sightings near Centralia, Washington. Centralia, Washington. This is from T.K. Randall. So it says here, the alleged Sasquatch was sighted along the top of a nearby ridge back in the beginning of February. Does an unidentified species of intelligent bipedal hominid roam the forest of North America? Well, while the jury is certainly out on whether or not this elusive cryptozoological enigma actually exists, there are many thousands of people who believe that they have witnessed the creature firsthand. And one such witness has recently reported their sightings, which took place north of Centralia, Washington, on February the 4th, to the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization, or BFRO. So according to the report, the man had been riding his motorcycle alongside his friend and his son when they spotted some sort of large hominid-like creature running along the top of a ridge half a mile away. So they said it was very large and human-shaped, he wrote, and there was one color, tan brown, moving across a very rugged terrain, making a beeline for the tree line. It says it moved so fluently with little arm movement, unlike a human running. It was easily 10 feet tall for us to be able to see it from that far away. All in all, the sighting lasted about 30 seconds. Now, according to BFRO investigator Scott Taylor, the sighting was likely to be the real deal. Said based on the description of the way this creature walked and its speed across the terrain, I believe that these three witnesses were fortunate to see a Sasquatch, he wrote. So did the trio actually see a real-life Bigfoot, or could it have been a case of mistaken identity? Well, after this report came out, a cross-country runner from Rochester High School emailed a local news outlet to claim that it was in fact him that was seen running along the ridge that day. The reason the creature looked so big was because he was running side by side with someone else. He had even had a GPS Garmin device that corroborates that he was at the location at that time. So there we go, folks. It looks like perhaps maybe that story might have been explained. But, you know, the thing is I've talked to a lot of people. I've had the opportunity to speak to an individual who was a game warden in Alaska. And I had him on the show and I talked to him about this, and he is absolutely convinced without question that he saw Bigfoot. And he made a very good point. He said, look, you know, I've lived in Alaska my whole entire life. You know, the community that I live in here, we are native Alaskans. We live in the woods, basically. We're constantly in there. And he said, and he made a valid point. He said, I've been here all my life. I am a game warden in the state of Alaska. If I can't tell the difference between a moose, a bear, and a large creature that looks like a human being running, if I can't tell the difference between the three, then I shouldn't be a game warden in the state of Alaska. And he made a valid point. You know, he's not trying to sell anything. There's no book he's trying to sell. There's nothing. He's not trying to make money off of. And actually, it hurts. You know, people made fun of him and they joked. But even in his community, they absolutely believe. There's no question. Matter of fact, if you went and said Bigfoot doesn't exist, they would look at you like you had 3 heads on your shoulder. So there's just too many people. There's too many credible people seeing this thing. And I don't know. I don't know. Right. Yeah, we just simply don't know about the species. We just don't know. But I don't, there's just too much, there's too much activity. There's too many people who are seeing this. And to me, I'm kind of thinking that there might actually be some legitimate issues going on. We don't know. But I will tell you, it's pretty interesting. It is very, very interesting indeed. Oh, by the way, for those of you who like the Blair Witch movie, now I got to say, it was brilliant. Look, they made millions of dollars. So it was quite successful. But this is by Lauren Malici, I think her name is. Well, for those of you who do not know, a new Blair Witch Project movie is in the works from horror mega studio Blumhouse. She said, quote, "I'm very grateful to Lionsgate Motion Picture Group Chair Adam Fogelson and the team at Lionsgate for letting us play in their sandbox. I'm a huge admirer of the Blair Witch Project, which brought the idea of found footage horror to mainstream audiences. It became a true cultural phenomenon." Jason Blum told CinemaCon audiences. Now, I don't think there would have been a Paranormal Activity had there not been first a Blair Witch. So this feels like a truly special opportunity, and I'm excited to see where it leads, he said. The first Blair Witch movie hit theaters in 1999 was a massive success. It grossed nearly $250 million against its modest independent budget. The found footage horror saw a group of film students set out to produce a documentary about an urban legend known as the Blair Witch. And the marketing methods were controversial, to say the least, with missing posters released for the cast members ahead of the movie's premiere. So it says here, a new Blair Witch movie was announced last May with Oliver Park, the offering set to direct. And there is no word yet as to whether these two projects are related, but they'll take as much new Blair as they can get. The Blair Witch Project and Adam Wingard's Blair Witch are streaming now on Prime Video. So apparently there is some movie, I guess, it's coming out. Who knows when it's coming out? So let me just type in. We'll find out when it's coming out. Did they say 2024? Yeah, it's just this is from three days ago, and they're not really saying when it's going to be released or anything like that. I'm not seeing anything here. But the thing is, what that drives me crazy about these movies is moving it around like someone's having a seizure. I don't like that. That really drives me crazy because they're just moving it around too much. It's too much, and that I don't like. That I absolutely do not. Oh, here it is. What? Not when it's going to be released. Listen to this. It was made for the Blair Witch 1999 Blair Witch Project, the movie. They made it for $35,000. And it would go on to gross $249 million globally. Wow. That is a crazy. So it cost $35,000. That's pretty impressive. That is very impressive. So there is no doesn't say here when it's going to be released. I can't find a release date. So, but anyway, for those of you who are interested, it is it's a reboot, by the way. Yeah, we talked about Iran. We talked about that. So as of yet, no plot details have yet emerged or been announced. But apparently, this is a reboot. So there we go. For those of you who love it. I agree, Rich. But the problem is it made me sick. I mean, there was Cloverfield. I couldn't watch it anymore because it was moving. You couldn't even focus on the scene. I got angry. It's like, come on, I want to watch a movie. I don't want to get motion sickness. But it was everywhere. The camera was everywhere. It's like, focus on the scene. I understand you want to make the feel of scary, and I get all that. But I'm coming to watch a movie, not to get sick. And to me, it ruined it. It ruined it. I hated it. That drove me crazy. The Passion of the Christ movie. You mean the new one that they're coming out with? I think it'd be pretty interesting. I'm looking forward to it. Is that what you're referring to? Yeah, it bothered me a lot. Okay. So if you guys have any questions, we'll entertain a few questions and then we'll wrap things up. For those of you on Spreaker, I'm going to say goodnight to you guys. I'm still going to stick around for just a little bit. We're going to be live tomorrow, of course, at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our Bible study. So all the shows that I do, by the way, all the shows are on podcast, every single one, and they're all free. So all you got to do is go to bishopjameslong.com, scroll down to where it says Spreaker, and you can check. They're all there, from the open mic nights, from the Secret Division, the paranormal shows, to the everything, night prayer, Bible study. They're all there, and it's all free. Oh goodness gracious, Richie, it's terrible. Yeah, I can't deal with. Yeah, we don't know when that new Blair Witch is going to come out, but yeah, we just did a quick little, an article that I read about it, but it's going to be a reboot. I have the Rougarou. Yeah. There's absolutely people who are convinced that the Rougarou, it's the Louisiana legend, swamp legend called the Rougarou. Yeah. Yeah, the Mel Gibson. He's making a continuation from my understanding, and so we'll see. I mean, it's I like the fact that the Mel Gibson version. What I liked about it was the realism of the crucifixion, because that in other movies, it's not as terrible visually, but in reality, it was absolutely horrible. It was barbaric. There's no other word to describe crucifixion but barbaric, and it truly was. It was barbaric, and so that's one thing that I did like about it, is that they didn't sugarcoat it. So yeah, it was hard to watch. It was but that's what I liked, that they put everything out there and they showed you. So the rosary really is not something to wear. It really is not something to wear. It's not a necklace. It's something that we use to pray, but it's not. It really isn't. Shouldn't be worn. Well, Den, I hope all of us. Den says, "What happens when we die, sir? I hope all of us go to heaven." That's what I hope. That's the goal in my mind. I don't wish evil upon anyone. I hope we all go to heaven. So that's, to the part. Okay. Yeah, cremation is fine. I don't know what your faith is there, Tasha, but if you're Roman Catholic, in the Roman Catholic Catechism, it says that you can be cremated, but the ashes should not be separated. But that is Roman Catholicism. Again, I don't know what your faith is, so that may not apply to you personally. I don't think it really matters if you separate the ashes. There's some people that like to have, separate them from little pockets or little lockets. I'm sorry, that the necklaces they like to separate. That's fine. I don't know how. If you're a very devout and devoted Roman Catholic, then the Catechism says that one can be cremated, but the ashes should not be separated. So, I don't think that matters. But that's just my own personal opinion. Yeah, again, folks, I'm not advocating that you should, because I know a lot of people who have ashes, they have lockets, and some family members want their ashes, and I understand that. I don't think that's an impediment to you entering heaven. I just simply don't. But as I just want to put the information out there, and you can take it as you wish. Okay. Traditional Catholic? When you mean traditional Catholic, you're talking about the Latin Rite? Oh yeah, no doubt. It was a great movie. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong. I mean, certainly the Latin Rite's beautiful, but you have to, of course, go to a parish. I don't know if I assume that's what you're doing. You're attending a parish. Oh, nothing. Oh, really? There's nothing. It's hard. It really is hard to find Catholic parishes that offer the Latin Rite. It's not easy to find that. There is one that I know of in Louisville, but that's in the United States. But I don't know. You'd have to contact the diocese, wherever you are. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's a beautiful liturgy. Darciana, that's something that's really debated. Can you receive some church rites online instead of in person? The Sacrament of Reconciliation does not require holy water. It does not require what we call sacramentals of the church. So when COVID came about, there was really some debate, especially in the Roman Church, as to whether or not the Sacrament of Reconciliation can be conferred via Zoom or the internet or whatever, the video feed, because it doesn't require sacramental. So there are some bishops, even within the Roman Church, that believes absolutely there would be no reason why the Sacrament of Reconciliation cannot be conferred over video outlet. There are some other Roman Catholics that said nope. Again, I just say Roman Catholics. I don't know what your faith is, but since you asked the sacraments, I just assume Catholicism. So it's an interesting debate that's occurring even now with theologians and bishops as to whether or not that sacrament can be distributed via electronic format. There are some that are very dedicated and believe that absolutely under certain circumstances, such as when we had the COVID and everyone was locked down and you could not go to your parish because they wouldn't open. They wouldn't allow. Some states would not allow churches to have services at all, and people felt isolated and they needed the Sacrament of Reconciliation. So in certain circumstances, I could see where that could be offered. Oh yeah, gosh, yeah. I've experienced quite a few activity that I cannot explain. I've talked about that at the Gates of Hell Cemetery when family there was a lot of satanic rituals that were performed. It's an old abandoned cemetery in Kentucky, and over 20 years ago, a family had contacted us and said asked us if we would go to bless the ground because there was a lot of people there, unfortunately, that were abusing it and desecrating it. So we went there to bless the ground, and it was, boy, the activity was insane. I mean, just insane. Well, it wasn't. No. He didn't get fired. No, Deb. He wasn't. He wasn't defrocked because of presiding at a Latin Mass. That's not the issue. The issue was that he was very aggressive with his views on Francis, and so there was some issues with that. He was very outspoken, and it was problematic. So Francis had to deal with that situation. Now, whether you agree or not, that's entirely up to you. But it wasn't because he presided at the Latin Mass. That wasn't the issue at all. Because there's nothing wrong with the Latin Mass. There's nothing wrong with it at all. But that wasn't why he was punished, if you will. That depends. There's a lot of people who don't believe in the rapture. There's a lot of people who say that is a Protestant term. I've talked about but see, you have to remember that that death exists outside of time and space. So we do not know what that means. We know that it exists outside of it because God cannot be restrained or in time or space, because time and space is something that is created. So we don't know if it's a blink of an eye. We because time and space doesn't exist in death. Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, here's the deal. The Roman Catholic Church, it's very clear. You have to, if you're a bishop, if you're a cardinal, you take a vow of obedience to the papacy. And so that's, I understand if they don't like the Pope or they don't like his views, but when you go public and you publicly attack the Pope, and you've taken a vow of obedience to that Pope, or to the Pope, whoever holds the position of the papacy, that creates the division, and it was creating some problems. So anyway, you've never been baptized, you fear the new Catholic Church? I there's nothing wrong with the Novus Ordo. I'm kind of confused as to, do you think that the Novus Ordo is invalid? Because of, I do believe that the Second Vatican Council, I think they went a little bit to the extreme. I think they went too far. I think they went too far. See, to me, when you go to mass, you should let the symbols speak for themselves. Don't water down the symbols, and they have, and to the point where it's almost they've eradicated them. And I don't believe that. When you go to mass, you have, as we said in the seminary, you should have smells and bells. I mean, you just when you go there, there should be a very powerful feeling, and it should be there anyway because of the, you have the tabernacle and the Blessed Sacrament is present. But I have a problem with the watering down of the symbols there in liturgy. I don't know about that one. Okay. Well, yeah. Let me tell you something. The closer you get to God, the harder the devil works against you. So that's absolutely true. Is that right? Well, that's okay, Francis Maria. Yeah, I wouldn't say that the Ten Commandments are a contradiction. I would disagree with on that one. Can someone go to the dark place and after that to heaven? You're talking about, can someone go to hell? Is that what you're referring to? And then go to heaven? No. I mean, if you are in hell, I believe that hell is eternal. There is nothing in Scripture that says that hell is temporary. So, but that's my personal belief. And I understand that there are other theologians out there that may have disagree. That's fine. That they have a right to disagree with that. But Scripture uses the term eternal many, many times in describing hell. So I just, but the thing is I think hell is for people who absolutely reject God. They want nothing to do with God. And then we blame which I find ironic. We blame God for the existence of hell, but yet God allows hell to exist because we have the free will to choose to spend eternity with him or not. So there is a place for people who do not want to spend eternity with God. So God says, okay, then there's one place that I don't exist. What's wrong with Holy Saturday? What about it? Yeah, I'm just concerned. There's a lot of theology out there that's being taught that I just disagree with. Even some people saying that hell doesn't exist. That's not what Jesus said. So, see, I'm not going to. If Jesus said exist, it exists, and Jesus certainly didn't describe hell as some place that's going to be a nice little vacation. Of course, Joe. See, that's what repentance is all about. So yeah, I mean, we're not perfect, but we have the gift of repentance. But we have to repent. And I don't believe in universal salvation. I don't agree with it. That is my personal opinion. I do. Universal salvation says no matter what you do, you're going to heaven, whether you like it or not. I disagree. That actually would be a God that would be a vindictive, hateful God, controlling God. We don't have that type of God. We have a God that loves us so much that he's allowing us to walk away from him for eternity. And so I this universal salvation thing, I disagree. Fundamentally disagree with. I just, I don't believe that no matter what you do, because it teaches that there's no consequences for our behavior. We can do anything we want to do in this world. You can do anything in this world, and you're going to go to heaven anyway. I disagree. Completely disagree with that. No, actually, he didn't go to hell that you're referring to. He went to the place of the abode, Francis Marie, to the, many people consider this Abraham's bosom, where the people who passed prior to the Messiah coming to the scene. And that's actually, we pray that on the creed. So that confuses a lot of people, and I understand that. So, do people just die and never come back ever? What do you mean? I agree. I agree with 100%. Users 95805. Sorry, you don't get to dictate to God whom God will and will save. Absolutely, completely agree. But see, that's what a lot of people do. A lot of people do think that they have the authority to determine who goes to heaven and who goes to hell. Nope, we don't have that authority whatsoever. And anybody who does that, then you are pushing God out of the way. You're playing God. So you have no authority to say who goes to hell. That's not our place. Not our place. But I do believe that hell exists. I do not believe in universal salvation. Okay. Any other questions before we wrap things up here? Like I said, my hope is no one is in hell. I mean, that's my hope. I don't want anyone there. But thank you for those of you who have offered gifts to the ministry. I thank you. So thank you. Nope, I absolutely do not firmly reject once saved, always saved. Firmly reject that. Really, refutes free will. Because you can be saved, you can go to the church, you can do the altar calls, you can say, yep, Jesus Christ, my personal Lord and Savior, absolutely, 100%, amen, hallelujah. Then you can be tempted by the devil, turn away from God, become a Satanist, and perform all kinds of blasphemies, reject God completely. So does that mean no matter what, doesn't matter, you're going to heaven? Nope. You can lose your salvation. Absolutely. You absolutely can. I firmly believe that one can lose their salvation. Yes, I do. Well, wonderful. I think that's actually that's to me very dangerous. That's a very dangerous theology. Well, I'm not limiting God's mercy. Never said I was. What I said is that we know that hell exists. Lucifer is there. Lucifer will be there. Lucifer is going to be bound for eternity in hell. He's already been judged. So you can't save demons. You can't save Lucifer. So okay, you know what? You're really being so disrespectful, and I don't want to speak to you anymore. Goodbye. True. I'm not going to preach heresy. I am not going to preach heresy. And if you want me to preach heresy, go ask someone else to preach liberal heresy. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to preach universal salvation. I am not going to preach once saved, always saved, because that is bull. That is not theology. That is not theological. It's not biblical, and I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I blocked him. I blocked him. So he won't be able to watch this anymore. He's done. So I will not preach that. I will not preach that on my platform because I think that's heresy. And I think it's misleading people. I believe that hell exists. I believe we can block you. Okay, no problem. Baby. See how easy that is? Someone said block me. Okay. Anybody else? I mean, oh yeah, certainly GMW. You bless your studies going back to the field, into the field. Good, excellent. Yeah, I just I disagree with that. This idea that no, because I've met people. I have met people. Right. I have met people who were very devoted, but then something happened in their lives. Something bad happened, whatever it might be, and they now hate God. They want nothing to do with God. They don't want to spend eternity. They blaspheme God. I mean, they blatantly blaspheme God. So you're going to tell me then a God that is all loving, all caring, all nurturing is going to force that person to spend eternity with him, a God in which they have such disdain for? That to me is barbaric. That's not what God, we have a God that's compassionate. He said, okay, fine, I'll let you walk away. So that's what I believe. I'm not teaching universal salvation. I'm not teaching it. Oh, wonderful, Francis. Maybe. Okay. Well, thank you there, Missionary Baptist Church. What's going on? We're just having a conversation. People not liking the fact that I will not preach universal salvation. I don't care. That's not biblical. All right, everybody. We got to wrap things up here. And so tomorrow. Oh, yeah. I had a sudden heart attack. It's terrible. That's right. That's right. Tomorrow, we're going to be here for our Bible study at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What about something sisters? I don't what do you mean? You have to help me out. I don't understand that. I did not see the La Llorona. I have not. I'm going to have to check it out. Well, thank you there, Bliss. Okay, that's exactly what you just pray for them. You just pray for an individual who is in a bad relationship, and you ask God to help, and you just keep praying for them. That's the best thing that you can do. And of course, be there for them. You know, if they ever want to chat with you or speak with you, that's what you do. It's been a long time since I've seen that the omen. Wonderful, Chrissy. That's fantastic. So yeah, tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll be here at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and of course we'll continue our study in Revelation. And I understand. I even talked about this many times. I've already talked about there's 4 different ways you can interpret Revelation. I personally believe that Revelation is prophecy, but that's my theological take on it. And so that is how I teach Revelation. Some people don't believe in that, and that's their right. That is their right. Then if they don't believe in it, then they can go teach Revelation from their perspective. But I'm going to teach Revelation as prophecy, and that's what I do. You're very welcome there, Den. So yeah, it's tomorrow. It is 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. By the way, so for the first hour, I'm going to let everybody know. For the first hour during Bible study, we have subscriber chat only on. Now, the reason is I do that is because people come in here primarily on TikTok, and they say some pretty nasty things, really vulgar, incredibly vulgar things. So it's very disruptive. So for the first hour, we don't put up with it. It's subscriber chat only. And that is, what about your sister? I don't know your sisters. So it is subscriber chat only. And then we can, I open it up usually after that for everybody. So we'll see how things go. Hopefully, people pay attention. If not, I'll just turn back subscriber chat only on. And that's just very simple. I don't like doing it, but it's what we have to do. So again, we're going to be here tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll be doing our Bible study and then continuing on to our Revelation. So looking forward to that. Hopefully you are as well. Miss Wilma will be here too, by the way. Always a cliffhanger. So Miss Wilma will be here, and she'll be teaching the kids Bible study. So what I do is I do the first reading, I teach about it, give you the historical background, teach for an adult perspective. Then Miss Wilma tries to explain to the kids, and then we do the second reading, and then we do the gospel. I take the readings for the Sunday Catholic Mass. So, well, thank you. I appreciate you guys being here. So that's what I'm going to be doing tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Folks, I know that a lot of you guys are worried about the Israel situation in Iran. And just as I predicted, I promise you things are going to settle down. I know it's unsettling right now, and it's stressful for a lot of people. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to turn off social media, because social media, they're going to scare you. That's what they're going to do. They scare you so that you can tune in, so they can get likes and they can get follows. Remember that Christ is in control. God is in control of everything. So you don't have to worry. There's no need to worry. This is all under control. Keep your faith in Christ, and don't let anybody steal your happiness, steal your peace. Because that's what the demon will do. The demons will try to steal your happiness, steal your peace, steal your faith. Keep your faith strong in Christ, and you have nothing to fear. Nothing to fear at all. So I firmly believe that calmer minds will prevail, and that this is going to pass. So just turn the social media off, because people are flooding on social media to scare you. And I won't do it here. I just won't. My friends, I tell you all the time, your value does not decrease based on someone's inability or refusal to see your worth. Remember, you're priceless, and don't let anybody tell you or convince you otherwise. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Rumble. God bless.